So, let's talk about that gap. The one between what we plan to do and what we actually end up doing. Today, we're going to tackle this from two totally different angles: hard-nosed modern psychology and deep ancient mysticism. We want to understand not just how we make our plans, but why so often they just completely fall apart.
Okay, be honest. Have you ever woken up, set a really strong intention, like today I'm going to eat healthy, or I'm definitely going to finish that project, only to find yourself hours later doing the exact opposite? Of course you have. We all have. This is called the intention-behavior gap, and it's the big mystery we're going to try and solve today.
All right, so to figure out why our plans fail, we first have to get clear on what a plan, or what psychologists call an intention, really is. Think of it as the blueprint for literally everything we do.
So, in the world of psychology, an intention isn't just some passing thought. Oh no, it's a really critical mental state. It's that moment you consciously decide, okay, I'm gonna do this thing. And it's fueled by all our deep down stuff, our values, our beliefs, our desires. It's supposed to be the bridge from our thoughts to our actions.
And it turns out there's kind of like a recipe for a strong intention. This comes from something called the theory of planned behavior. It's basically a mix of three things. First, your attitude. Do you actually think doing this is a good idea? Second, subjective norms. What do the people who matter to you think about it? And third, and this is a big one, perceived control. Do you really truly believe you can pull it off? Get those three things lined up and you've got yourself one powerful intention.
But wait, there's more. It's not just those three. Other things play a huge role, like self-efficacy. That's your core belief in your own ability to succeed. Then you've got to actually expect a good result from it. And of course, our past experiences matter a lot. If you succeeded before, you're much more likely to believe you can do it again. It's a whole mental calculation going on behind the scenes.
So, you'd think if you have all that, the perfect attitude, everyone's on board, you believe in yourself, you're golden, right? Well, here's where it gets really weird. Even with a perfectly designed psychological blueprint, our plans just crumble. And this leads us to a huge paradox in how we operate.
And this is that gap, that frustrating void we're talking about. Now, psychologists have plenty of reasons for this. Things get in the way, people influence us, we get stressed out. But there's an even deeper, more profound challenge to the whole idea of intention.
For basically all of human history, we've assumed our conscious mind is in the driver's seat. Our rational intentions cause our actions. Simple. But neuroscience has come along and thrown a massive wrench in that whole idea. It's suggesting that maybe, just maybe, our brain starts the car and starts driving before our conscious mind even has a clue where we're headed.
Get this. A neuroscientist named Benjamin Libet discovered a spike in brain activity. He called it a readiness potential, a full 350 milliseconds before a person was even aware of deciding to act. Let that sink in for a second. Your brain is getting ready to move your hand before you have even decided to move it. So, is free will, is our sense of intention just a story we tell ourselves after the fact?
Now, Libet himself offered a kind of compromise. He suggested that, okay, maybe our conscious intention doesn't hit the gas pedal, but maybe it has its hand on the emergency brake. It might not have the power to start an action, but it could have the power of veto, the ability to stop an action that's already bubbling up from our unconscious. Still, it leaves the whole idea of intention in a very, very mysterious place. So we're kind of stuck, right? To try and make sense of this paradox, we need to look somewhere else entirely, beyond the brain scans, beyond the psychological models. Let's pivot and turn to an ancient, mystical framework that thinks about intention in a completely different way. This ancient saying, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It suggests that an action, even something as sacred as a prayer, is just an empty shell, a body without a soul, if it's missing a very special inner ingredient. And that ingredient is something called kavanah.
Kavana is the Hebrew word for intention, but it is so much more than just a plan. It's not about the what, it's all about the why. It's the deep, underlying direction, the purpose, the quality of your awareness, the spiritual energy that you're pouring into an act. It's the soul of the action itself.
This is the best analogy for it. Psychology helps us become a better driver, right? It gives us the tools to manage our willpower, to push the accelerator more effectively. But Kavanah asks a much more fundamental question. Is the car even pointed in the right direction to begin with? Because if your inner direction is off, it doesn't matter how hard you press the gas, you're just getting to the wrong place faster.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this idea of a spiritual direction, we need to zoom out, way out. We have to understand the cosmic map that this idea comes from, and it's a universe that's built on a beautiful, powerful, creative tension.
So, in Kabbalah, the universe is basically animated by these two giant opposing forces. On one side, you have Chesed. Think of it as pure, infinite, expansive energy. It's love, it's giving without any limits at all. Just a sun radiating light everywhere. On the other side, you have Gevura. This is a contracting, restrictive energy. It's about discipline, boundaries, justice. It's the vessel that contains and focuses that light.
Now, it's absolutely crucial to get this. This isn't good versus evil. Not at all. They are cosmic partners, locked in a creative dance. In fact, creation itself only exists because of the tension between them. That infinite love, Chesed, needs boundaries and limits, that's Gevura, to create a space for life to actually exist without being totally overwhelmed. This idea of pulling back to allow for creation is called Tzimtzum. And the tension we feel in our own lives, it's just a little mirror of this huge cosmic dance.
All right, so let's bring it all back home. How do we bring these two completely different worlds together? We've got the hard mechanics of modern psychology and the deep soul of ancient mysticism. How do they, together, help us finally understand intention?
Well, this table just lays it out perfectly. You ask, what is an intention? Psychology says it's a mental plan to get something done. Kabbalah says it's the spiritual energy and direction behind what you do. You ask, okay, why does it fail? Psychology points to that intention-behavior gap, weak willpower. Kabbalah says, nope, the car is pointed the wrong way. So for the fix, psychology tells us to strengthen our plan. Kabbalah tells us to fix our inner compass first.
And this right here, this is the ultimate takeaway. It's not one or the other, it's both. Psychology gives us the mechanics, the how-to. It helps us build a better plan and follow through. But Kabbalah gives us the meaning, the why. It infuses our actions with purpose, making sure that all our effort is actually pointed toward a destination that truly matters to our soul.
So, I'll leave you with this. Before you make your next plan, before you decide to do your next thing, just take a second, pause. Don't just ask, what am I going to do, or even how am I going to do it? Ask yourself, what is the deep underlying direction? What is the kavanah behind this action? Because getting that right, well, that just might be the most important part of the whole journey.